Welcome to Study Time, a televised home learning program produced by Rwanda Education Board.
Hello students, my name is John. I'm back to entertain you in mathematics in our unit number 5, linear equation and inequality. I hope already you know what is a linear equation, and you know how to solve or to discuss even a linear equation in one variable or one unknown. This time, we are going to work on linear inequality. It means that inequality in one unknown. I don't want to repeat all properties of inequalities because you know them from senior 2, even senior 1, and senior 3. So what we're going to do is just to discuss a linear equation inequality in one unknown. But of course, before that, let us have a simple activity of solving equation involving linear equation. Please get your exercise book and pen, and you see on your screen 3 exercises. You solve those exercises. Number 1, 3x plus 2 times x minus 1, result times x minus a half equals 0. Number 2, x squared plus x divided by x plus 1 equals 0. Then number 3, you have 1 minus x divided by 2x plus 1 equals 0. Please, you have a minute to solve or to work out that activity. Wow, you are done, isn't it? Yeah, okay. Now let us work on chalkboard. Of course, you are going to compare the answers you have got and what I'm going to get on chalkboard. Number 1, activity. Number 1, you have 3x plus 1 times x minus 1, then times x minus a half equals 0. Already we have 3 factors, and each factor is a linear factor. As the right-hand side is 0, we are going to apply the 0 product property. So it means that each factor equals 0. So I'll be having 3x plus 1 equals 0, or x minus 1 equals 0, or x minus a half equals 0. Then solving for x, here I get x which is equal to neg 1/3, and here x is equal to 1, and here x is equal to a half. So the set of solution, we just list these 3 values of x, starting by the smallest one, 1/3, a half, and 1. It's solved. Okay? 2. We have x squared plus x divided by x plus 1 equals 0. We have a fractional equation. Means that you have the numerator and denominator, and you know this is possible when the denominator means x plus 1 is different from 0. So we are going to solve this equation On numerator, I can take x squared plus x equals 0, provided that x different from -1 is coming from here, isn't it? Okay. Then, factorizing this expression, I have x times x plus 1, which is equal to 0. We apply the zero product property as before. Then means that x is equal to 0 or x plus 1 is equal to 0. Means that here, of course, we have the value of x, and here x is equal to -1. Do you see? We have the value of x, but there is another condition on x. X should be different from -1, and here x is equal to 1, -1. So as this is the root of denominator, we have to ignore this value of x. Finally, the set of solution is only 0. Hope you understand. Then, the last, we have 1 minus x divided by 2x plus 1 equals 0. This is no different from this one. So what you have, it is 1 minus x, which is equal to 0, provided that this denominator, 2x plus 1, is different from 0. Because dividing by 0, you know it is impossible. Solving for x, I will get x, which is equal to 1. So it means you move minus x to the right-hand side, or I move 1 to the right-hand side, it becomes negative. So dividing both sides by -1, I get the value of x, which is equal to 1. And here, of course, x is different from -1/2. So the set of solution is only 1. We are done with our revision on inequalities. So you get the answers are no different from those ones. Thank you very much. So now let us continue with our lesson of linear inequality in one unknown or variable, also called inequality of the first degree in one unknown. This is the same. So what you need on this, any expression of this form, ax plus b, less than or equal to 0, or you take ax plus b less than 0, also you take ax plus b greater than or equal to 0, or ax plus b greater than 0. All of these are inequalities of the first degree or first degree, yes, in one unknown. Here, A, B are real numbers, and A must be different from 0, because if A equals 0, we have just a constant. And then, from this, x is the variable, means the unknown. You need some examples, but everybody is able to give different examples. As you see on the screen, you have different examples. For instance, 2x plus 1 is less than or equal to 0. That is an example. X minus 1 is less than 0. It is an example. X plus 3 is greater than or equal to 0. So an example, 6x plus 5 is greater than 0. It is another example. You can even give another one. Can you give me 2 other examples of linear inequality in one variable? Okay, say x plus 7 is greater than 0. Yes, this is okay. Another one? Oh, yeah. 3x, yes, minus 10 is less than 0, and so on. These are different examples for inequality of the first degree in one unknown. The unknown, of course, is x. So we need to discuss that linear inequality of the in one unknown x. Discussion. Remember that in mathematics to discuss doesn't mean telling stories, you know. Isn't it? You are going to discuss in mathematics. We have ax plus b, which is less than or equal to 0. In case a is different from 0 and b different from 0, of course, I have ax plus b is less than or equal to 0, means that ax is less than minus b, and then x is less than or equal to minus b divided by a. Of course, the settled solution, x stands for all numbers less than or equal to this value. It means minus b divided by a is a member of our interval, right? So we get from negative infinity up to minus b divided by a. The interval is closed. Hope you are together. Then in case a is, of course, different from 0 and b equals 0, the inequality will be ax plus 0, which is equal to less than or equal to 0, means that ax is less than or equal to 0, dividing both sides by a, x will be less than 0. And of course, the settled solution will be all negative numbers. Of course, even 0 will be included. So minus infinity up to 0 include because of inequality. In case a is equal to 0 and b different from 0, you should have 0x plus b is less than or equal to 0, means that 0x is less than or equal to minus b. We are together, I hope. You are following, isn't it? Oh, very nice. Then, to get x, I have to divide both sides by 0. And you know dividing by 0 is impossible. So what you have, for any real number, x, 0 times x is equal to 0. And the 0 is less than or equal to minus b. If b is negative, if b is negative, this will be also positive. For instance, I have a 0 which is less than, suppose b is equal to 5. And then from here, 0 will be less than or equal to minus 5. Is 0 less than minus 5? No. But with the negative sign means that I will be having 5 and the 0 is less than 5. So here, the settled solution is empty set if b is positive, and we'll be having R if b is positive is greater than 0. So that is a, if B is negative, the set of solution will be R. Yes, positive and negative. Okay, that's true. In the case we have A equals 0 and B equals 0, we should have 0x plus 0 is less than or equal to 0, 0x is less than or equal to 0, and the n number times 0 is 0, and the still 0 is less than or equal to 0, isn't it? So the set of solution is the set of all real numbers. Any value for which any number taken by x times 0 will be 0, and the 0 is less than or equal to itself. So the set of solution is the set of real numbers. So you can discuss different linear inequality according to the sign of inequality you have. If it is greater than or equal or less than or equal to, it depends on the situation. So you may have different examples. There you have as examples, 2x plus 1 is less than 0. Solving that equation, inequality is simple, isn't it? You have minus 3x plus 1 is greater than or equal to 0. Those are kind of inequality of first degree. What I need today is solving linear inequality by using the sign diagram. Solving this inequality using the sign diagram. Solving this inequality ax plus b less than or equal to 0 using the sign diagram. It is what I need for this lesson, because already everybody is able to solve a linear inequality in one variable. So you have your inequality ax plus b is less than or equal to 0. Of course, I can even change, take minus less than 0, greater than or equal to 0, or greater than 0. You can have a different inequality of this kind. So what you're going to do, first of all, you change this inequality into equation to have ax plus b, which is equal to 0. You solve for x, and you get minus b divided by a. This is known as the critical values or critical number for this equation. Now, the sign diagram is here. The variable, the unknown, is x. You take our equation ax plus b. We know that the solution of this equation is minus b divided by a. I put minus b here, divided by a. Of course, we are working in the set of real numbers, and the set of real numbers is from negative infinity up to positive infinity, isn't it? So here I have minus infinity, then positive infinity. As minus b divided by is the solution for this equation, means that if I replace x by minus b divided by a, I'll be having 0 at this level. So what sign do we need at the right of 0 and at the left of this 0? You have to be careful. The sign at the right of 0 is just the sign of A. You put the sign of A. And you have the sign of A, here it will be the opposite side. Sign of A. Then, when you have all of this, you may have maybe a negative interval and a positive interval. It depends on the coefficient of x. In the case you have this kind of inequality, less than or equal or less than, you are going to take the negative interval. Take negative interval. In the case you have greater than or equal to 0 or greater than 0, you will take the positive interval. Very simple. Then, what you need, you have to give the set of solution, isn't it? So we are going to get an example for that. But you can take just a few seconds to write something in your record book for reference. But at the same time, I'm looking for an example to help you. Okay, back to example. Example. Solve 4x minus 3 is less than or equal to 0. 4x minus 3 is less than or equal to 0. Also, I can give less than 0 or greater than or equal to 0 or greater than 0. So what you have to do, first of all, you solve, you change this into equation, you get 4x minus 3, which is equal to 0. Solving for x, you get x which is equal to 3 divided by 4. You need the sign diagram, right? Sign diagram, the variable is x from negative infinity. The value of x is 3 divided by 4, and there it is positive infinity on number line, representing the set of real numbers. And there we have 4x minus 3. The root or the solution is 0. It means that at 3 divided by 4, I have a 0. Which sign to put at the right of 0? Which sign to put at the left of 0? You see, the coefficient of x is 4, right? Yeah, and the 4 is the positive. Means that at the right of 0, the sign is positive. Is it clear? Wonderful. Now, after getting the sign at the right, of course, the opposite sign will be at the left. Means that here it will be negative. Is it clear? Thank you very much. Now, remember, we are solving for x minus 3, which is less than or equal to 0. As the inequality is less than or equal to 0, I need the negative interval. A negative interval is this one, from negative infinity up to 3 divided by 4. Means that the set of solution is from negative infinity up to 3 divided by 4. I closed because of this inequality. In the case I have for x minus 3, which is less than 0, the inequality is strict. Means that the sign diagram is still the same. And I'm going to consider this negative interval. But to pay attention with inequality, I have to open my interval. So the set of solution is from negative infinity up to 3 divided by 4, but open. In the case we have a 4x minus 3 is greater than or equal to 0. When it is greater than or equal to 0, remember the remark? We have to take the positive interval. Then the positive interval is from 3 divided by 4 up to positive infinity. Means that the set of solution is from 3 divided by 4 up to positive infinity. You know, at infinity, positive, negative, the interval is always open because those are not real numbers. Finally, for x minus 3 greater than 0, the set of solution is from 3 divided by 4 up to positive infinity. We are done. Means that it was one example, but in which you have 4 exercises. Means that you have 4 examples for this one. So pay attention. When your sign diagram is correct, you can solve any kind of inequality of that kind. I hope everything is clear. Do you need another one? Oh, yes, you need another one. Just for a few seconds, you can take number 2. We solve 1 minus 2x greater than or equal to 0. I take that one. So you have greater than 0. I have 1 minus 2x equals 0. And, of course, minus 2x is equal to minus 1. Then x is a half. The sign diagram, I take x from negative infinity, a half, positive infinity. My equation is 1 minus 2x, and, of course, 0. So the sign, the coefficient of x is minus 2. Means that it will be negative and it will be positive. As you are solving 1 minus 2x greater than 0, the set of solution is we take the positive interval, and the positive interval is from negative infinity up to a half. Means that the set of solution is from negative infinity up to a half. The inequality is strict. I have to open my interval. And this can be written like minus infinity and a half, like this. This is the same. Hope you have understood what we did for this lesson. You need a homework. Those inequalities you have to bring them in this form and solve them using the Venn diagram. Thank you very much. Hope to meet you next time. Stay enjoying mathematics.